This morning, the president said there would be severe consequences if Iran carried out this attack. What are those consequences, and are they more severe than sanctions?
Totally legitimate question, and that answer will come based on the conversations and consultations we have.
Great question. All right.
It's too soon for me to stand before you today and give you an answer. What I
Yeah.
can tell you is this. We're proud of the actions that we've taken alongside Israel to protect and defend Israel. We have made clear that there will be consequences, severe consequences for this attack. Thank you very much.
Well, that says a lot.
Thank you, Jake. Okay,
Yeah.
on to the rest of the programming here. This morning, President Biden was briefed by his Homeland Security Advisor, Liz Sherwood Randall, on the latest impacts of Hurricane Helene, and this afternoon
she's
he
best.
will receive an interagency briefing on the Hurricane Helene response and recovery efforts. At the president's direction, the Biden-Harris administration continues to use every tool available to get assistance and resources to the communities that need them the most. Yesterday, the president approved a major disaster declaration for Georgia, which will unlock additional assistance to help those recovering. This is in addition to the major disaster declaration swiftly approved by the president following request from North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida, as well as requests for emergency assistance across 7 states. Tomorrow, the president will travel to Raleigh, North Carolina, where he will visit the State Emergency Operations Center to meet with local officials and also first responders. And the vice president will travel to Augusta, Georgia tomorrow, and will then head to North Carolina in the coming days. As of today, thousands of personnel from across the federal workforce are deployed and supporting state-led Hurricane Helene response efforts across the 6 affected states, including over 1,200 personnel in North Carolina. Still, there is more work to be done, and the Biden-Harris administration will be there for these communities every step of the way. Now, as you can see, we also have Secretary of Homeland Security.
All right.
Marcus.
Keep left.
Thank you, Corinne. Good afternoon. Before standing at the podium, I was at FEMA's National Operations Center being briefed by our personnel as well as state emergency personnel. I thought it very moving and very telling that North Carolina's emergency management director described Hurricane Helene as catastrophic and noted the fact that
It is shiny.
numerous towns situated along the
Yeah.
river had virtually disappeared, had been completely destroyed. In fact, Hurricane Helene is of an historic magnitude. This many states hit this hard. The wind field of the hurricane stretched 350 miles from its center. More than 100 fatalities have been reported, hundreds and hundreds of homes and businesses destroyed. Our hearts
Like
break
that
for
Wendy's
those who
underwater.
lost loved ones, and we pray for the swift assistance and rescue of those who are currently missing. We are in different phases of a post-hurricane environment depending on the state and the location within the state. In some areas, we are still in search and recovery, search and rescue.
125 is going to start with a bang.
operations. Others,
Seems that way.
We are, in fact, in the response and recovery phase. I thought I would give you some of the latest statistics based on the briefing that I received. And I should say that these numbers are, as you can all well understand, quite dynamic and fluid. They change minute by minute and hour by hour. But just as devastating as the hurricane has been, the response of federal, state, and local authorities has been extraordinary. We have more than 2,000 federal personnel dedicated to this
By the
effort.
way, W's in the chat for everybody spamming DEI about the woman doing sign language translation. Good job, guys. Keep it up.
FEMA staff deployed over 1,000.
Keep it up.
Corinne mentioned the major disaster declarations and the emergency declarations previously issued. I should note
State-based.
that in the 6 states most severely impacted, the emergency declarations were issued before the storm hit, and we had thousands of personnel dedicated there. We have delivered more than 2.6 million ready-to-eat meals and more than 1 million liters of water. At its peak, there were 5.1 million customers without power. We have reduced that amount, and not just
5.1?
the federal
Holy
government
fuck.
in support of the state and local authorities,
Jesus.
but working very closely with the power companies and the other utilities. We've reduced that number of customers without power by 3.8 million people. And so the operation is very, very
That's a lot.
significantly underway. We are working in support of our state and local partners. This is an all of government, frankly, all of community effort.
They're giving
With that,
MREs and cases of water at local high schools here daily. That's nuts, bro. What the fuck?
Accounted for yesterday, they said about 600 were accounted for. Do you have an update on that?
We do not have an update, but that work is still underway. And I know, for example, within the Department of Homeland Security, the Coast Guard has recently rescued approximately 21 people from their patrols.
Discussion yesterday on whether resources may have been better pre-positioned in other parts of the country.
MREs are better than most high school food anyways. I don't know about that, bro. We had good food. We had those chicken tenders and mashed potatoes. That shit was good. I would dip them in there.
Well, we actually pre-positioned
Yeah, what do you mean?
our personnel, and the state and local personnel were pre-positioned in all 6 of the most
40?
heavily
Wow.
impacted states. This is an
idiots.
historic hurricane. It reached not only industrial areas, but of course, as we also poignantly see, rural areas as well.